Hello everyone and welcome back to my opinion, and the IPL starts in a couple of days time. As I did when previewing and reviewing the mini auction, I'll be releasing the videos covering the teams in the order that I'd done when releasing that series of videos, and therefore I'll be starting off with the Chennai Super Kings, the Mumbai Indians and the Gujarat Titans. Starting off with the Chennai Super Kings, I thought they had the best mini auction out of the 10 franchises. They've got a few combinations to choose from regarding their playing 11 depending on the type of service they'll be playing on. As far as what I think they'll do, especially when playing at home and if everyone is fit, I think they'll go with Raj Gaikwad and Rachin Ravindra to open the batting, with Ajinkya Rahane at number 3 and Daryl Mitchell at number 4, Shivam Dube 5, Ravindra Jadeja at number 6, MS Dhoni 7, Deepak Chahar 8, Shardul Thakur 9, Mahesh Deekshana at number 10, and Matisha Patirana if fit at number 11. Devon Conway has been ruled out of this season due to a finger injury, but when playing in Chennai, given the services on offer, we even saw the previous season where at times he struggled to get momentum through his innings, where even though he's a good player of spin, he struggles on these kind of tracks, which is why I don't feel his injury is a huge loss for the team, even though he did well last year. Rachin Ravindra will be able to give that momentum early on, and that's why he'll be preferred to open alongside Raj Gaikwad. Do I think Rahane batting at 3 on these type of services would be a great option? No, I don't, especially since he's iffy against spin. However, they'll be backing him from what he did last year, so he will play at number 3. Daryl Mitchell is a fantastic signing, a power player at number 4. Shivam Dube will be batting at 5, keeping his T20 World Cup prospects in mind, and there's some fantastic batting depth there as usual. There's been talk as to whether to place Mitchell Santner or Mahesh Deekshana. Mitchell Santner is the preferred option of most of the fans. However, you think the players who did well the previous season will be backed, and even though he didn't have a great World Cup, Mahesh Deekshana did very well for CSK the previous season. And he's been bowling well on the ILT20. He bowled well on the ILT20. He's been in decent form, so I feel, given what he did last year and the variety he provides to this attack, they will go for him and to bat at number 10 and to bowl his overs, of course. And Matisha Patirana, if fit, would be the frontline death bowler on the side. If they want to play another steamers, they may go with Mustafizur Rahman. In terms of what they could do as well, if they want to retain the same overseas combination, as I said, Ajinkya Rahane at number 3, I don't feel is a great fit for these types of tracks. What you could do is you could promote Daryl Mitchell to number 3, Shivam Dube 4, which is the position he batted and did well for CSK in the previous season. And Samir Rizvi has been in great form in the domestic circuit. They've backed him to play that role. Michael Hussey recently said he could play that Ambati rider role. And considering he can float up and down the order, and he can attack the spinners, and I think he's good against all forms of bowling, and that's why he can bat number 5. So I feel even when using the same overseas combination, I feel they may be stronger this way, because even though Rahane did very well in the previous season, I feel was an iffy player of spin, and on these tracks at number 3, I don't feel it'd be the best fit. The 11s I discussed could be applicable when they play away from home as well. Now, in terms of bolstering your side at home, I'll be making a few changes where, based on an inclusion I'm going to make, if you're considering Mitchell Santner and Mahesh Deekshana, both would be very good on the side of the surface. However, I feel with the control Santner offers, I'd start him alongside Jadeja. And you've got a Moeen Ali to play in the side ahead of Rachin Ravindra, where both of those two I feel would do well with the bat, and especially with the form that Rachin Ravindra has been. Moeen Ali had a good SA20. However, as a bowler, and especially considering if you play Rachin Ravindra as well, you've got 3 left-arm off-spinners. I feel with how he has been as a bowler for a longer period of time as well, Moeen Ali, and with the right-arm factor that he's got, I feel him alongside Santner and Jadeja will make her a fantastic spin attack. If you want to play Matisha Patirana as the overseas seamer, then you could open Rahane rather than playing him at 3, where if you open with him, he had a greater chance of succeeding. You could play Daryl Mitchell at 3, Shivam Dube 4, where he batted for CSK in the previous season and did well. Moeen Ali 5, you could interchange Dube and Moeen Ali if you want, depending. Ravindra Jadeja 6, and then you've got the other players to follow. So I feel this does look a very good side. And CSK don't need an impact sub, because you've got Shardul Thakur at number 10, which is a luxury. And you could include someone like a Mukesh Chaudhary in as well. there's been rumor that if they back Ajinkya Rahane, there's been suggestions to say maybe they could include Samir Rizvi as an impact sub, but I don't feel it's necessary when most of the time someone like a Deepak Chahar and Shardul Thakur, two very handy batsmen, won't get batting, and Tushar Deshpande may not even get a game, and he's been doing so on the Ranji Trophy circuit. So as far as batting is concerned, CSK is sorted, and they should focus on bolstering their bowling options when they've got these resources to play at home. And then what you could do is, if Matisha Patirana isn't fit, instead of going for Mustafizur Rahman, what I would do is I'd play Rachin Ravindra, can open the batting and bowl left arm off spin. Darren Mitchell 3, Dubey 4, Moeen 5, can bowl 4 overs if they want him to bowl. Jadeja, Mitchell, Sanders. So you've got 3 fantastic spinners plus Ravindra who can bowl 2 or 3 overs at least. And then you've got Shardul Thakur, Mukesh Roy, Deepak Chahar. It's enough to bowl home. And then you've got the impact option of Tushar Deshpande as well. Maybe if you want to start him and then bring in Mukesh Roy in. So I feel especially this option would be preferable. Even if Matisha Patirana is fit, I'd rather them go with this option at home. So if they do that, I feel CSK look very good. Even when playing away from home, I feel with the way MS Dhoni's marshaled his troops for all these years, he'll be able to optimize his team attack, where if you've got Tushar Deshpande, Shardul Thakur, and if fit and inexperienced Matisha Patirana, then you may think it looks precarious, but we saw what happened in the previous season, and we've seen players improve drastically under MS Dhoni or be optimized drastically under MS Dhoni, where you saw Tushar Deshpande the season he had in the previous time around, and Matisha Patirana stepping up as well. This may be Dhoni's last season based on what's going around in social media. It will be a poignant moment for cricket fans. He's done so much for Indian cricket, and he's for the national side and for his franchise as well. And in my view, I feel he can still continue on for at least a couple of years, where if you're looking at the role for him in this side, if he's still keeping well, I feel with the way he's been leading the side, especially in the last 2 years, where since 2018 it's not been the gun. Well, you could say that squad at least looked good on paper, but especially in the recent season, I didn't think they had the greatest auction leading up to that, but they won the title, and so he knows what he's doing. I feel he's able to optimize the resources no matter which players you give him, and that's a skill that so far no captain in the IPL has demonstrated. So it'll be a poignant moment if this is his last season, but we won't know for sure. And I feel CSK looking very good to qualify for the playoffs this year. Now the Mumbai Indians, after the auction, I thought they had the second best auction. However, there have been a few injuries since then, and I feel, especially on the bowling front, things don't look as strong as they did before, but I still think they have a decent side, and I feel there are 2 11s they could go for. On the first 11, I think they could go with Rohit Sharma and Ishan Kishan to open the batting with Tilak Verma at 3. In the absence of Suryakumar, they could go with Nihal Wadir at 4. I don't think they're losing as much there, even though Suryakumar has been in fantastic form in this format. Hardik Pandya at 5, Tim David 6, Mohammad Nabi at number 7 to play that economical finger spinner role, and when the impact sub comes into play, he could bat number 8 rather than number 7. Bumrah, Piyush Chawla, Nuwan Tushara, and Kwena Mapaka, who was named the player of the tournament in the Under-19 World Cup, and he has been signed as a replacement for Dilshan Madhushankar, where I think for Sri Lankan cricket it's a shame where no matter who they pick, fast bowlers or spinners, they're not too far away from picking up an injury. T20 World Cup not too far away, and they'd hope that players such as Hasaranga, if he does play, Mahesh Deekshana, even these two have picked up injuries in recent times, so I feel they'll be hoping that they have their best bowlers available. We'll have to see how that goes because they're all so injury prone. And then on the bench you've got Ramari Shepard, Jad Kutsie, who I think he'll be fit to play some games. He'll be fit at some point, maybe after the first few games, but we don't know when he will be fit. And Luke Wood has been signed as a replacement for Jason Behrendorff. Do I think it's the greatest replacement? No, I don't. He isn't quick. He swings the ball, he isn't quick, and I feel when you've got a Nuwan Tushara who also relies on bowling the slow ball Yorkers on a surface like Mumbai if they don't land as much, and if he goes for runs, then you have a lot of pressure on Jasid Bumrah and an experienced Kwena Mapaka, who I feel is good enough to start in this side. On how they could manage with the bowling, Kwena Mapaka could open the bowling with one of Jasid Bumrah and Hardik Pandya. if Hardik Pandya goes well with a new ball, then Bumrah can be used in the role that he has been used in the past, where he bowls 3 overs in the latter 10. And that would mean you've got 4 seamers in Pandya, Bumrah, Nuwan Tushara and Quinna Mapaka. And the economical spinners in Mohammad Nabi and Piyush Chawla, who was fantastic the previous season. But in this side, in terms of an impact sub, I feel in terms of a local impact sub, something like a Vishnu Vinod would be in contention. And then you wouldn't be able to bring in Akash and Bali. You'd have to make do with the bowlers you've got. Which is why in the second 11, I think they could go with, I've gone with the same top 6 of Romario Shepherd to bat at 7, Mohammad Nabi at number 8. Now, you saw in the CPO when Romario Shepherd bowled as a new ball, he was very good. And I feel in this surface, with him bowling at high pace and swinging the ball and getting some bounce will suit his bowling. However, since then he hasn't been used in that fashion by other franchises, and I hope that he is used in that fashion here, because if they do use him correctly, he's a very good bowler. You've got the economical finger spinner in Mohammad Nabi, and if you've got Shepherd and maybe one of Hardik Pandya, Bumrah, but if Hardik Pandya goes over the new ball, then you've got Bumrah to bowl in the middle overs alongside Nuwan Tushara, and you can include Akash Madwal as well as an impact, so he did very well at the death of the previous season. To add some assurance there, and then you've got Piyush Chawla as well. And the power hitting is also boasted here, because if you've got Hardik Pandya, Tim David and Romario Shepherd, it's a fantastic trio. And then you've got Mohammad Nabi, who's handy with the bat as well. So I feel this selection strengthens their side, even though they won't be able to play Quinna Mapaka, who's a fantastic talent. If Nuwan Tushara doesn't go as well, what I feel would be a test for him in grounds such as Mumbai and Bengaluru. If you rely on bowling slow balls, they don't fall, then you will go for runs. So if Nuwan Tushara doesn't do well, I would play Quinna Mapaka in his place. But I feel Mumbai looks stronger playing the second 11 than they do with the first, and Mapaka could start ahead of Nuwan Tushara depending on how things go. And when Gujarat Titans, who they're saying he'll be fit at some point if he does return, Suryakumar hasn't got clearance from the NCA. If he does return, then you've got him to play ahead of Nihal Wadera, and you've got Gujarat Titans to start ahead of Nuwan Tushara, which means this looks a fantastic side. In terms of injuries, I hope not too many players more get injured because of their own prospects and India's prospects in the T20 World Cup. We'll have to see how that goes. The key is, there's been a lot of talk as to the captaincy change and all those things. I feel this would have been informed to Rohit Sharma beforehand, so I feel that there's an element of speculation from the outside as well. But a lot of players who would have wanted to take up the role. And so, as long as these great resources can be managed harmoniously, then I feel Mumbai would also be, they look well placed to make the playoffs. And finally, for the Gujarat Titans, barring one signing, I thought they had an ordinary mini auction. And is that signing a sure starter on my side? No, he isn't. It's based on one thing. If he does that well, then he would be. And in terms of the 11s they could go for, as a first option, you could go for the captain, Shubman Gill and Ridhwan Sahar to open the batting with Kane Middleton at 3 and David Miller at 4. Vijay Shankar at 5, Rahul Tewati at number 6, Rashid Khan if fit at number 7, Sai Kishore number 8. I don't know if they'll play him because he didn't play in the previous season, but I think he's good enough to start. He's been good enough to start for a while. Josh Little number 9, Mohit Sharma at 10, and Umesh Yadav, who could maybe bat a bit higher, number 11. Since Mohammad Shami is unavailable for the season, which is a huge blow, Umesh Yadav will have to take up that role bowling with a new ball. I think he should be used bowling 3 overs in the power play. He's been in fantastic form in domestic cricket, and therefore I think he can play that role, even though Shami's been brilliant in recent times for the last couple of years now. And in terms of variants of this 11, if Rashid Khan isn't fit for the first couple of games, they've got Noor Ahmed as well, who can fill that role as a wrist spinner who's tough to get away. He's been in fantastic form in the SA20 as well. And Azmatullah Omarzai can fill in the batting that Rashid Khan can offer. So in that case, you could play Azmatullah Omarzai at number 7 and Noor Ahmed ahead of Josh Little, meaning you've got the 3 seamers and the 2 spinners, meaning your sides, the dynamic isn't compromised. And you could use the impact sub as a bowler as well, because you've got Sai Kishore bang at 8, which is plenty of batting. Now, if they want to play both Noor Ahmed and Rashid Khan, which is what they did in the previous season, even though they've retained Kane Williamson, I feel Sai Sudarshan, who would have struggled to find his way into the 11 if he wasn't played at number 3, then he would play ahead of Kane Williamson, and then you could play Rashid Khan, Noor Ahmed and Josh Little. Sai Kishore is good enough to start in any side in this IPL, but they've been looking to play the 2 overseas spinners, and they may look to do so again. In this case, they'd play Sai Sudarshan ahead of Kane Williamson and start these plays. Now, the reason why I've gone with Josh Little ahead of Azmatullah Omarzai is only for one reason, and that's that Omarzai has been very good with a new ball. Can he bowl to death? It's not been his strongest suit. You've got Mohit Sharma, did very well in the last season at the death. We don't know what he'll do now. Umesh Yadav bowling at the death. It's not his strong suit. You've got Azmatullah Omarzai bowling at the death. May not be his strong suit. Vijay Shankar, you don't know what he'll do. So, if you've got that combination and you're bowling in the last few overs at their home venue in Mumbai or in Bengaluru, you'll get a pasting. Which is why, for now, I've gone with Josh Little, who can bowl well at the starts and at the death. But if Omarzai proves that he can bowl at the death, then you've got the batting he offers, and with this bowling with the new ball, then he'll be a fantastic addition to this Gujarat side. On the bench strength, apart from Omarzai and Noor Ahmed, you've got a case of pretend they play Sai Sudarshan ahead of Kane Williamson, and you've got Omarzai to play ahead of Josh Little when he comes good. You've bought Shah Rukh Khan and for 7.4 crores, and you've already got Abhinav Manohar there, and he's been fantastic for them in the previous season. The season before that, will he be able to get an opportunity if Omarzai does well at number 8? You've got Rashid Khan as well. No, he wouldn't. And you got Shah Rukh Khan for 7.4 crores, where he wouldn't be able to get an opportunity, even though he spent so much money for him. Spencer Johnson for 10 crores, and you've already got Josh Little. I thought they could have bid a bit more for Mitchell Starc, where if you're going to spend 10 crores for Spencer Johnson and waste all the other money, that would sum up to close to what you'd have to pay for Mitchell Starc. So I thought they could have bid for him. That's why I said in my preview video in the mini auction as well, they didn't do that. And that's why you've got a case where you've got a few players who've got no chance of getting into the 11. And I feel, even though the side on paper, it doesn't look as strong, I feel they've got some players there where if you collate the right playing 11, they can do something. I feel they'll find it difficult to make the playoffs. It'll certainly be touch and go. And if a couple of other teams who I think could make the playoffs have an off season, I feel this team would be a side that would be in the race to make it. So they've got a few parts there, but Shubman Gill, a new captain, we'll have to see how he goes. I feel the series that he had against England, the recent test series, restored some of the confidence back, and he's got some decent options, some inform options to work with. We'll have to see how he goes. And that's on these 3 sides, and the other 2 videos will be released soon. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, share it with your friends. Remember, this is my opinion. What's yours?